What it do, baby? We're back here on Riding the Pine.
A little late,
Monday,
but we're back.
Tuesday for you peeps about to listen. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Kind of set us back a little bit, but it's the time to unwind. Enjoy yourself. Take a few days. We had a little trouble yesterday. I wonder why. But we're here now. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Marv is back looking marvelous as ever. I see what I did there.
Special
That's
guest
very
on the
nice.
show is
Nice.
That's a new one.
Larry O'Brien.
And we got our champion.
Yeah,
Yes,
we got
sir.
our champion. How does it feel?
you know, it feels
Anything's
great
possible.
because this trophy was supposed to come in January.
Oh wow.
Oh, so you got a
Yeah, and
That's
I never
exciting.
would ever spend money on a replica finals trophy, but the Lakers did it for Kobe Bean this year, so very memorable championship. So I had to go cop that shit.
very nice. Nice. Got it early. Makes
I won't buy it when they repeat this year. I'll just have the same one for when they repeat. It won't say 2021 on it, but you know.
Same principle.
Well,
Yeah.
Really nothing much has happened in the world of the NBA while we're on that. I mean, Gordon officially yanked on they're calling it a side injury now, but the Celtics are getting a second rounder out of it. And I think 2022. And the Hornets got Hayward and a couple other conditional second round picks.
They
what
released
it came-
Nicholas Batum.
Well, they released him outright, and he's going to sign with LA. The
Well, yeah,
Clippers.
Oh, okay.
That's something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Besides that, we're now on the cold stove
Jared-
for the NBA world.
Jared Dudley signed a contract extension with the Lakers. That's probably the
did?
biggest news to come out of the league today. 1
And
year,
in terms of
2.6 million.
things that people don't care about, Martin got released from the Timberwolves.
Anthony Davis is expected, per source, to sign his contract extension as early as today or tomorrow or the next day.
Or he's gonna sign with the Clippers.
No way.
He's going to sign with the Clippers. Montrezl Harrell, reverse Montrezl Harrell.
He gets
saying,
pissed because oh my god, Carson Wentz is terrible, bro.
Yeah, I was going to just mention that. Move off of
I'm
NBA.
sorry.
We're recording this during the Monday night game right now, Philly and Seattle, and Carson Wentz is buns. But you know what's going to happen, guys? He's going to come into Lambeau next week and do what he did last year and just look like he deserved to be the number 2 overall
I don't
pick.
think so. I don't
He
think
stinks. What happened?
Yeah, he's bad.
Like shit right now.
He's bad. I don't know
He
what
was great his rookie year before he got
Was he
hurt.
though? But was he?
He was
Yeah,
putting
he
up
had
good
16
numbers.
touchdowns. Yeah, he had 16 touchdowns. And like
He had a
no, it
touchdown
was
a
in
game.
like
Not
it was in like fucking 5 weeks, bro.
Yeah, he was going off, and then he got hurt, and then Nick Foles was like, "Oh, I got this," and then the rest. But
And people can speculate any way they want to. They can say, okay, the injury hindered him, and he's playing
But like
shit because of that. It's like,
it-
we're figuring him out.
it feels like the
I don't
abil- it
understand
feels
how
like,
that injury could affect his fucking decision making
Yeah.
and his throws.
it
Like
feels
that's
like
the
the
problem.
ability to read defenses too
Yeah.
just regressed like tremendously over the past like.
It's
year.
not even that he can't run anymore. It's like he doesn't know how to read a coverage.
It's the same thing with anybody else. RG3 got hurt. Okay, but if you realize it, defenses were figuring him out before
I
he
believe
got
it's pronounced
Colin Kaepernick
RGIII.
before he left. Colin Kaepernick was getting figured out. The Niners weren't as explosive as they
And
were
look at
before.
Lamar already.
He's getting figured out.
He's
Yeah,
gonna have to learn to
I mean,
throw the ball accurately.
A lot
Not that he can't, but like
No, he can definitely.
he's gonna have to be thrown a lot more. He can't just be
Yeah.
taking off and running option plays and dancing around all the time.
so right now Seattle's up 7-0. It's still going in the second quarter. I want to before we keep going NFL guys, college basketball's back, man. We got it back.
It's nice
we
to watch
got our
during
heart
the day.
back. Yo, some upsets this week.
Oh yeah.
Virginia, number 4 Virginia going down to San Francisco. Kentucky going down to Richmond.
Shout out
There
Ray.
were some big upsets. And now the new rankings came out. You got Gonzaga, Baylor, Iowa representing your top 3. Preseason invitationals going on. Not
We also
preseason,
forgot
but
Villanova, number 3 Villanova.
Nova was down, yes, and that was Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech beat Nova. Yes, thank you. And that might be my inner fanboy of Jay Wright. I love Jay Wright. I think he's one of the best coaches in the nation. So figures I leave that one out.
I forgot who Syracuse played, but
we played.
They played.
Who gives a shit?
Somebody that they should have beat by a lot more than 1 fucking point. Somebody said on Twitter, they're like, Syracuse, you may have won, but there's no reason why I should have had to pay attention to this game for the full time.
All I gotta say is
it was Bryant College.
Yeah, there's no reason why you should have to pay attention that whole game. You should be up by at least 20 points going into like the second part of the second half, and you should just be done. But
I'm with you there because Texas barely squeaked by Davidson today, and I was shitting bricks after being up by 9 with like 2.5 left. And Davidson
did they get Steph Curry back?
Oh no, he was not there.
Does he still have eligibility?
He might have been hurt.
He might.
He should have. We're going to pretend yes and just imagine a hypothetical world where Steph Curry retires from the NBA and goes back to Davidson to get his degree and plays college basketball. So we're going to pretend he has eligibility left. But he was not on the court today. Texas won. I know Indiana buried Providence today. UNC, they were down 13-0 early to UNLV in the Maui Invitational. They had the lead by like 13 last time I checked. Mainly those 3 major upsets, though. I mean, you have Virginia going down, Kentucky and Villanova. Rough / hot / exciting start to the college basketball world. I think it's wide open this year. I'm not very impressed by Gonzaga,
I don't think anybody's like.
It might be Gonzaga's year finally.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no clear cut. I'm with you, Marv.
You never know how it can play out in the tournament, though. Once you get to the tournament, quite literally,
anybody can get hot.
It's a matchup world, and it takes your best day. I mean, we've seen it before. We saw it with fucking UMBC when I was Marv. I was actually at your house for that game.
Yeah, we were at my house
a few years back, like 2 years ago, and we were watching UMBC make history at your place.
It's
crazy.
It's quite literally with any sport. It's about who gets hot at the right time.
Literally.
And they didn't just beat Virginia; they buried them. And their shooting in that game was absurd.
It was crazy.
They didn't miss.
Nope. Second half.
You won't see a game like that again.
No.
Don't say that.
I hope we do. I hope we do. That was awesome.
You said that, and now it's happening this year.
Yeah, maybe like
20 You heard it here first, folks.
20
You're going to see a game very similar to that, if not just like that this year, because Adam said that there wouldn't be.
So what? The field got expanded to 64, and I want to say like 1985, and it happened in 20. So it almost took 25 years, probably longer. I'm probably way off with the 1985, but that seems right-ish in that range. The field expanded to 64, and it's taken that long for 16 to knock off a 1, and then we just had it happen a couple years ago. So you look like 25, 30 years for it to happen. Mark your calendar for 28 years from now.
No.
And get ready for the next one.
Now the 16 seeds have more confidence that they see it can be done, and it's going to happen more.
And we've had close calls. I remember when Princeton almost beat Georgetown, Coastal Carolina almost beat Virginia a couple years before Virginia actually lost. That was a really close one. We've had 15 seeds win. I mean, Norfolk, Richmond did it. Middle Tennessee State. We've seen it. Lehigh, they beat Duke. But it definitely is wide open this year. We already have the early upsets. A lot of college basketball to go, but not a whole lot of NFL football. We got 5 weeks to go after the conclusion of the next 2 games. I want to bring up Thanksgiving first.
Wait.
Before we get into the biggest story.
I just want, you mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're doing this during the Monday night game. Carson Wentz has been, Carson Wentz has been in the whole game besides one snap. And Jalen Hurts completed his one pass for 6 yards. And he is the leading passer on the team currently. Carson Wentz is 2 for 8 with 4 yards.
As soon as you brought up Carson Wentz, I knew where you were going with that. And
2 for 8 with 4 yards.
Yeah, no, that's really bad.
Boo.
He's doing worse than the Broncos guy. Than the wide receiver.
And that nigga was the wide receiver.
He's the wide receiver.
He stinks.
But like I said, watch Carson Wentz next week just torch our secondary. Watch it happen. But the turkey games, we got shorted one, and we're gonna get to that one. Don't worry. Texans take down the Lions, 41-25. Washington demolishes the Cowboys, 41-16. We almost had identical scores. That would have been fucking awesome.
And it's not Thanksgiving without the Lions getting.
Deshaun Watson did
blown out.
Deshaun Watson type things. Will Fuller, 171 yards.
Oh, speaking of Will Fuller,
Will Fuller.
Suspended 6 games. He says he didn't know. His doctor got it wrong.
I believe it. You know, if it wasn't a performance enhancing drug, it was a freaking. He was trying to take it as a medicine. Whatever. I don't blame him.
I never wanted him anyways. I never wanted to trade for him anyways.
Right.
Yeah,
I never wanted. Remember this though. So he's suspended for 6 games. There's 5 left.
Yep.
So whoever he signs
he's going to be out
for the first game of the year.
Right. Unless is it even miraculously possible that the Texans go 9-7 and make the playoffs?
They would have to win out.
You know what's funny? You say that. I was on the playoff simulator, the playoff machine that ESPN has. Great. It's fun. You just pick all the games, hypotheticals. There is a scenario where the Texans can get into the playoffs still. There's a scenario where the Bengals can get in. Yeah, I have no life. I fucking know. I'm on the men. So that's what I do. I sit there on playoff machine and random outcomes of the game.
Yeah.
The Texans can still get into the playoffs.
And it's not like, you look at the record 4-7, but the South isn't like
good.
The
Tennessee
Titans are 8-3, and the Titans aren't really like they're not that good. They're not.
No, they're not that good. But the Titans' schedule coming up is easy. The besides the Packer game, the Titans have a relatively light schedule coming up. They're going to finish with the Browns, the Jags, the Lions, the Packers, and the Texans.
So you see, all right. So they got. Oh God, the Texans have.
And it's just like the Packers. How the Packers finished. They finished with Philly, Detroit, Carolina, Tennessee, Chicago. So it's like if you're chasing teams like Tennessee, Green Bay, good luck.
Well, they're chasing teams like Indianapolis and Tennessee. They have 2 games against Indianapolis. If they win both of those games against Indianapolis and win out, they're going to be in the fucking
playoffs. Looking at that wild card, and with the Raiders, we'll get into all these games, but with the Raiders losing, how they lost yesterday, the Dolphins.
It just opens things up now, bro.
But yeah, those Colts, they drop a couple, and then suddenly the Texans pick up a couple.
How about the NFC, though? The NFC
is a horse vagina.
It's so
sorry to get very explicit here, but oh my God, it's wide open. It is.
The NFC is wide open. The Vikings are 5-6 now. If they can somehow miraculously win out and go 10-6, or at least go 9-7, they could have a chance to sneak into a wild card spot because the Cardinals are now 6-5.
Yeah,
in
the Cardinals losing kind of fucks them bad.
The Cardinals coming up, they face the Rams twice and then have it semi-easy the other 3 games. So those 2 games against the Rams. I want to say it's the Rams.
We got the Jags. We got the Jags this coming up week.
Yeah, so I mean, the Timberwolves just signed Ronnie Hollis-Jefferson. Written in stone. It happened. No, somebody was tweeting it out the other day. They were like, the Wolves got to take a shot on RHS. I like that signing. I really do. That's nice. That's really good. Back to what we were saying. NFC's wide open. Vikings can get in. Cardinals got a moderate schedule coming up. The Lions, they fire Matt Patricia and
Caldwell.
Expected. Not Caldwell. Their GM, was it Bob Quinn?
Yes. Yes.
I think it was Bob Quinn.
I thought it was Dad something.
It was Brady Quinn. That's who it was.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, Brady Quinn. Flashback. Church boy.
All-time Browns great quarterback, Brady Quinn.
Speaking of which, Josh Allen is now, I think, 3rd all-time in the Bills passing yards list. You just sparked my mind on that one, and that's not a good thing for Bills fans.
Damn, the Jags are 1-10. I didn't even realize.
It was Bob Quinn. You're right.
That's crazy.
It was Bob Quinn. Okay, I thought so. So the Lions fired Patricia and Bob Quinn after the game. And the story behind that's funny. they had a meeting with the players, the ownership group and other members of the front office, and they literally asked them to vouch for Patricia, and it was an underwhelming reaction to them trying to save their coach's job. If that tells you how they felt about Patricia.
Yeah.
So Matty P's gone. He'll find a defensive coordinator spot somewhere.
Yeah, he stinks as a head coach, though.
Yeah, there's some people that just can't be head coaches.
They asked Matt Stafford if he's going to resign, and he's basically like, "We'll see."
Yeah,
I think he needs to go somewhere else. That guy is too good to be stuck in Detroit his whole career. He is a good quarterback. He makes some unbelievable throws. I mean, Christ, he had Calvin Johnson, and those two didn't have anything else around them.
Yeah.
There's a few spots where I could see him landing. I could see him going to Washington. I could see him going to New England.
Well, that's what I heard was Washington.
I don't see him going to Jacksonville, even though their receiving core is really intriguing. It really is when you look at Chark.
Imagine him throwing to Terry McLaurin, though.
Colin Johnson. I'm missing a big name. They have Tyler Eifert at tight end. Who was it right there with DJ Chark? Cole.
Yeah.
The Jags have a very intriguing receiving core. And he's got Robinson in the back. Robbie's in Carolina.
Yeah.
Then you got Robinson in the backfield, who's third in rushing as an undrafted rookie or undrafted free agent. I could see Stafford going down to Jacksonville like Foles did, only this time. I know the collarbone. Yeah, I could see it working out down there. Washington, New England, Jacksonville. Those are really the Niners if they move on from Jimmy G.
Yeah.
That's another one. So Matt Stafford's going to find a home somewhere. That's without a doubt.
It's not going to be Detroit.
It's not going to be Detroit, though. I'm with you, Sheebs. I don't think it's Detroit. He's
just maybe Tampa Bay. What if Tom Brady just says after this year, "Fuck it, I'm done"?
Well, the way he looked last night or afternoon,
the way he's looked recently, I am much more confident that the Vikings can beat them in 2 weeks.
Well, that's how Seattle's really looked. Russ hasn't looked dominant. The MVP.
Well, you see now the defense. In the beginning of the year, their defense was keeping their offense off the field more. Now Russ has to do more because their defense has holes. And
Chris Carson, 16-yard touchdown.
And this is exactly what they should be doing to an Eagles team. They should be up 14-0 over the Eagles.
Yes.
So this isn't anything in the first game after the Seal game. We're going to talk about the primetime game last night, Green Bay, and I'm going to say the same thing about us, is that your defense should be doing this against an offense like that, but it's nothing over the top.
Yeah.
So the other game, Washington, Dallas, for a second there, Washington had the division lead, and then the Giants took it, and now the Eagles can take it with the win tonight. So the Washington football team had their 15 seconds of fame. They did beat the Cowboys. Gibson, 3-touchdown game, big game for him. So Washington's right there in the thick of the NFC East. Dallas is
terrible.
so
happy.
What the fuck? Like,
I'm overjoyed. This is amazing.
It makes me so happy, bro.
No, it makes me happy, but it also pisses me off that they looked like complete dog shit on Thanksgiving. They looked like amazing against the Vikings.
They didn't look amazing. You guys just made them look really good.
Our defense is so inconsistent. I'll get to that when we talk about that game. But
so Washington
taking
down Dallas. That was a good Thanksgiving. It felt very empty though without that night game. It did.
Their defense looks like it's going to be set for at least a few years.
I'm telling you, they
have a very good young defensive core.
Their D line is one of the best in the league.
Montez Sweat had that pick six. He's a very good player.
I'm telling you, they tighten up that secondary a little bit.
They have Landon Collins, which I think everybody forgets that Landon Collins is on their team.
I mean, like corners, you got to have depth in the corners, and Washington doesn't have the depth there. They got the depth in the.
They have Ryan and Kerrigan.
Yeah, I love Kerrigan. I love Kerrigan. Always have. He's awesome.
They have some good pieces.
I mean, Allen, Sweat.
And on offense too, you got Terry McLaurin, who's leading the league in receiving yards, I believe. Tyreek Hill. He's very close. He's in the top 5.
Gibson looks like a diamond in the rough, and I know it's one season. Let's pump the brakes on the Alfred Morris experiment, but ride the momentum, give the kid his credit. He's playing very well.
Yeah.
McKissick has slowed down a little bit. Alex Smith, my dad was saying it on Thanksgiving, as long as Alex Smith can do enough, that might be all it takes for Washington just to get their noses in and see what happens as a 4 seed. But they have
right now the Giants are leading the division.
Giants are 4-7, but they have the tiebreaker over Washington. They beat them twice. Washington does not have it easy down the stretch. They got Pittsburgh. That game actually moved to next Monday.
Who do the Giants? Who do the Giants?
I think we have 3 games on Monday now.
The Giants have the Seahawks next week.
It's Washington.
And the Cardinals.
Washington has the Niners, and then they have the Seahawks. Then they have the Panthers, and then they have the Eagles. So Washington doesn't have it easy.
So the Giants do not have it easy either because they have the Seahawks and the Cardinals, and then they have the Browns, and then they have the Ravens.
So, and remember this, they really don't have it easy because
and then the Cowboys.
Who knows about Daniel Jones's injury, though?
Yeah, he hurt his hamstring.
He's at least out for 1 game. Who knows how far that's going to stretch? The fucking Cowboys can make it, dude. For all we know, the Cowboys could squeak in there at fucking 5-11.
The Eagles are done.
The Eagles just look like a hot mess.
I'm watching Carson Wentz run onto the field right now. I'm just like, why is he still in the game?
Well, he just got sacked again. But yeah, that's the Thanksgiving games. It did feel empty without that night game, and that night game is what we're going to move to next. The traditional 8:20 Thursday night Thanksgiving football game postponed. The Ravens had an outbreak in their locker room of COVID. Got to the Steelers a little bit, not much. It was James Conner and I think like a staff member. So the Steelers had it under control. The Ravens couldn't control it, so they moved it to Sunday. That didn't work. Move it to Monday. Well, just 3 hours ago, Adam Schefter of ESPN reported
per source
played Wednesday at 3:40. So 6 days after the initial kickoff,
it's at 3:40.
Yeah.
3:40 p.m. Eastern time. The kickoff on Wednesday. 6 days after we're supposed to kick off, they're finally playing.
People are at work.
You've been waiting a while, bud.
Yeah, just this
Really,
your time.
I just want Roger Goodell to be I have a hit out for Roger Goodell now because this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. There's zero reason that it has been almost a week until this football game is being played. I don't know how the 49ers had positive tests on a Monday when their games were moved to a Tuesday against the Packers, and they still had to fucking play. I don't understand what the fuck's going on. Cam Newton got tested on, it was like Friday or Saturday, and the Patriots had to play Sunday. Like, I don't understand what the fucking thing is with the Ravens. I don't know. And then now the Ravens players just have a team meeting and say they deserve to have a practice. So the game gets moved to Wednesday.
They quite literally made the Broncos play without a quarterback.
Like, I don't understand. Like, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 10-0. What the fuck? Like, the teams shouldn't be forcing our schedule shouldn't be changed because of other teams. Like, this is twice now. The Titans fucked us with our bye weeks. Now we don't have room to move this game. So now it has to be played on a fucking Wednesday at 3:40. Are you kidding me? We lost our primetime game, our biggest primetime game of the year. And it is now a Wednesday at 3:40 p.m. What the fuck is going on?
Especially when you consider it's not just Pittsburgh versus blank. It's Pittsburgh-Baltimore.
It is Pittsburgh-Baltimore. This is one of the fucking biggest rivalries in football. I don't understand.
This is a top 3 rivalry in football we're talking about with Packers, Bears.
Like, it's
Giants,
not.
Cowboys,
Like, people
Pittsburgh.
want to see this. It's not just Steelers fans are mad. NFL fans don't understand what the fuck's going on either because
I was tight. I wanted to watch that fucking game because
like,
it was the only good game on Sunday.
It was. You guys got screwed the first time you played Baltimore. That game not being on national TV, I tweeted about it. I said that was a crime the NFL committed not putting that as the Sunday night game or the game of the week or even the Monday night.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it. I was pissed.
That was a crime. And okay, so the NFL, for those that don't know, basically what the NFL is saying with all this shit is if it attacks one positional group, they're not going to shift the game based on strategy. So, i.e. the Broncos scenario, just because it was in the quarterback room and the Broncos did not have a quarterback, and it just so happened it was the most important position on the field, the NFL said, That's strategy. We're not going to move the game for one group. There was no outbreak because what the NFL says is that as long as it's an outbreak within the locker room. So that means going from one position group to another, coaches, staff, faculty, all that shit. And that's what happened in Baltimore. As opposed to Denver, where it was one select group. It could have been the running backs. You know what I mean? In Denver, it is bullshit. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying what the NFL says. I don't agree with it being right or wrong. That's just the reason why the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game got moved, not the Denver Saints game, is because there was no strategy. What's the word I'm looking for? There was no lack of strategy, basically, for Baltimore and Pittsburgh. It was a total outbreak. Whereas for Denver, it hindered their strategy, and the NFL said, fuck you guys. It sucks, but there's photographic evidence that those quarterbacks did not have masks on together. I mean, quite literally photos from inside the room. So what's Denver going to do? Fight it? No, you can't. So that's the whole sum up behind why this game is kept on getting pushed. And
all I know is if you are a betting man, take the Steelers with whatever the fucking spread is.
Oh, I would up it. Dude, take the Steelers with everything you fucking got. Bet the under in the game, first of all. Bet the under.
Steelers players are pissed off. Bet your house.
Oh, it's going to be under because the Steelers are going to have all the points. It's going to be
it's going to be the Saints Broncos.
Maybe 2 touchdowns at most. And it might be one comes at garbage time.
What if RG3 just lights it up though?
No, I think that fucking everybody's going to be fine.
No, Lamar's out. Mark Andrews is already out.
Mark Ingram
and J.K. Dobbins can play now.
Oh, you know what? Andrews can play too.
Mark Andrews can play, and I believe Lamar was out of Tuesday. The game's not Tuesday anymore. Are you fucking kidding me?
Let me get my tinfoil hat and put it on.
This is so the Ravens needed to be at full strength.
Think about it though.
The Niners played with a practice squad.
I did not think about that.
Think about it though. If you're the NFL, right? And you're not gonna give the Broncos special treatment because who the fuck wants to watch the Broncos besides Denver Broncos fans? And
I'm not gonna lie, I put that game on for a little bit. I was curious.
And the Taysom Hill led Saints, nobody cares. When you have the reigning MVP, of course you're gonna do what you can to bring that guy. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying, of course, you're gonna try to delay that game and push it back so that guy will be good to go because he brings in a shit ton of viewers, and that's a ton of revenue.
And that, I mean, we could look at it anyway. None of us are right. None of us are wrong. We don't know. That could very well be the reason. There could be some shady shit.
Let me get my tinfoil hat and put it on, and we'll figure it out.
Cough, cough, shady shit going on down at the headquarters of the NFL. We've never suspected that before. Or it really could be a safety thing, which for the sake of humanity and just overall trust in people, I hope it is.
I must say, though, I really wish Roger Goodell didn't back out of that contest that Dave Portnoy won, where he got to come over and watch a game with them, because this would be when Dave Portnoy could have cashed in his money in the bank. It would have been great.
Goodell. Yeah, this is you.
When people wear Goodell shirts with the clown nose on them to games, they literally get tossed out. That's how big of a puss he is.
Salty shit. But we gotta move on. That's the Pittsburgh-Baltimore dilemma. Marv, you're gonna get your game, bud. You're gonna get your game. You will. It's gonna get there. It'll happen.
Maybe.
Don't worry. It'll happen.
It'll happen.
I hope.
And you know what? Since we're doing this on Monday, we could go over the primetime game last night.
What? The slaughter?
At the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
I did not know that the Packers were letting some fans in.
They let in family members of staff.
Oh.
So that's who was there at Lambeau. Great to see fans. Great to hear the traditions. Rodgers got what he asked for. He wanted to roll out the barrel. He wanted the jump around. He wanted the shout. He wanted all of that. So he got his wish. Packers 41, Bears 25. I brought it up earlier. This is a game where I could hang my hat on. It wasn't a perfect game by any means, but I could hang my hat and say that looks like a team that should be It looks like a team that's playing Super Bowl caliber level, if that makes sense. Preston Smith got the message. He's been sucking ass all season. They actually started Rashawn Gary over him. What does Preston do? Has a strip sack and then returns another fumble for a touchdown. Darnell Savage, 2 picks. Devontae Adams being Devontae Adams. Alan Lazard, his second game back from history. Robert Tonyan coming through. Just a big game overall. Didn't start that way. Montgomery took us up the gut on the first play of the game. Well, the Bears drive, 56 yards up the middle. So that's why I say I can hang my hat on a game like this, but it ain't the perfect game where it's like, we still got some holes to fix here. But that was very good that Khalil Mack did not get in the backfield once, that Aaron Rodgers did not get sacked once, that the only time Rodgers got hit was on an illegal contact, hands to the face, personal foul. That's the only time Rodgers got touched. So I'm going to take it. We basically got the division wrapped up 3 games with 5 to go. Favorable schedule going forward. Now it's about seeding. So Packers looked very good last night. That's all I got to say about that.
So me as the other NFC North expert and the podcast team here, the Bears have a lot of questions. More questions than anybody has answers to.
Like, is Pace or Nagy fired as we speak?
I think they should be fired. I think that
Trubisky should be immediately.
Trubisky's going to be released. So the question
is, took him over Patrick Mahomes
and Deshaun Watson.
Over Mahomes and Watson. They thought this motherfucker from UNC was good.
From UNC.
Sheeves, give me one. We survived the Mahomes era.
Let me tell you something. So
thank you, Pace.
I think a big question mark now is I could probably look into my crystal ball right now and say Allen Robinson is not going to want to fucking play there next year.
Did you see? He's already liking tweets.
Please come to Pittsburgh.
He turned down Green Bay to go to the Chicago.
Where do you think
sign Juju? I think Pittsburgh is going after Allen Robinson if somehow we don't re-sign Juju.
Allen Robinson was liking tweets last night saying, yo, we need you in Green Bay. Hey, come to Seattle. Bro, we need you down in NOLA, man. You'll be awesome down. He was liking all these tweets.
Everyone's unbiased opinion. Where is the best landing spot for Allen Robinson next year?
No bias. Hello. What the fuck? Is that a question? Is that really a question?
What, with their rinky-dink quarterback?
What? Motherfucker, what?
One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, that's more like it, bitch.
He doesn't need to play for him. I don't want to have another.
The team that was going after Will Fuller was in talks with the Texans.
If he's going to go there, the Vikings better go in free agency and make a splash, a cannonball at cornerback, because if you got to play the Packers twice a year and you're having a world of trouble with Devontae Adams, imagine both those guys on a team with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him.
No, in all seriousness, Marv, what is a team that you think of, a contending team that you're like?
All right. The question changed.
A wide receiver.
The question changed then. All right, a contending team. Well, because actually, no, it still doesn't change for me. It still doesn't change for me because we just talked about it. I think if he, you got to think they already lost the best receiver in the league, in mine and Sheebs' opinion. So if he goes to the Houston Texans, bro.
Yeah.
Him and Will Fuller, him and Will Fuller are going to be.
There's no promise that Will Fuller stays because he's also a free.
Right. That too. But I'm thinking with this now suspension, I think it's pretty locked up that Will Fuller stays in Houston if they want him back, and I think they're going to want him back because they have nobody fucking else. I mean, but then if
they release Kenny Stills,
if you have Allen Robinson, Brandon Cooks, and Will Fuller, bro. That's a pretty good triple. That's a pretty good wide receiver trio right there.
What about the Raiders?
Still there. He's
the Raiders. The Raiders. Okay, the Raiders.
It's a very intriguing one.
They have room for him though.
They have Henry Ruggs.
They got Aguilar, who's playing very good.
That's
he is
true.
in Hunter.
Yeah, but you can easily cut the ties with Aguilar for a guy like Allen Robinson.
And Hunter
the Patriots.
Yeah, Edelman's getting old, man. They need
the Patriots.
Philly touchdown Goddard.
The Dolphins could use somebody else to put next to Devontae Parker.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the Texans, the Dolphins, but
who knows what Odell Beckham does if he leaves the Browns?
Right.
the Browns are still fine though.
The
Higgins.
without OBJ, like they're
fine.
They're okay.
They're still fine.
Might as well go to the Buccaneers because they apparently have everybody.
But you know what I'm saying?
They're not even doing well with it.
Let's just hypothetically go off those three teams before we move on. You have the Texans, the Dolphins, and the Packers. If you're Allen Robinson, you're sitting there, you're looking for what? A 3-year deal, 3 to 4 year deal, maybe. You don't want to be locked up. You don't want no franchise 1 year. Where are you going to go knowing that a certain someone has a couple more years left, knowing that you already fucked up one time going there?
I mean,
somebody
what
that
if,
needs to watch.
What if
a certain someone?
Hear me out now. What if good old Keenan Allen gets on his cell phone here and calls Allen Robinson and says, "Hey man, I'm re-signing in LA. Justin Herbert is nasty. Let's fucking do something here.
We might get a defense.
Brand new stadium. We got a fucking young defense. We got all this shit."
Like, hey, I just talked to Derwin James. He's gonna be healthy.
Here's what worries me with that though is the cap space.
Right.
Because LA's cap space is already.
But a guy like Allen Robinson isn't gonna need
no cap.
He's not gonna get a max deal. He's not.
Think about Keenan Allen is though. Hunter Henry's gonna get
yes.
Mike Williams is still there. You got to keep your backfield somehow. Eckler, you want him to stay aboard a little bit.
But I think they have Eckler for 2 more years, I believe.
Then you got to look at Ingram and Bosa, first of all.
Yeah.
Well,
Ingram does not get enough love in the league.
I know. But that's like what I'm saying. If they all get it together, I think, football guys are different with pay cuts. There's a lot of guys that'll take money, like veterans will take money off their contract so they can get somebody else. Like football's way different. Like I think if fucking Keenan Allen re-signs in LA and Allen Robinson goes there, we actually, for the first time, can say, okay, if the Chargers don't charger, we can fucking see them in the playoffs.
Let me leave you with this before we go to
Chargers don't charger.
Well, that's the truth.
Before we keep going with the Chargers, let me leave you on this. The last time Allen Robinson hit free agency, he did exactly the opposite of what you said. He took more money to go to Chicago than less to play in Green Bay.
Hypothetical imaginary scenario that will never happen. Imagine him on the Chiefs.
Yeah, okay. We're going to keep the Chargers talk because they played the Buffalo Bills this week, and the Bills, they looked pretty damn sloppy, but they come out with the win, 27-17. They go to 8-3. The Chargers still in purgatory. Josh Allen, nothing special. I think
Josh Allen and DraftKings.
Not a wise pick.
Just some Bills football.
It is coming off a bye week. Wow, that's how Dallas felt last week, a bye win.
That was how the Jets felt on their bye week.
The Bills get a nice win, big win too. When you look at Miami being now just a game behind, so to 8-3, go with the Buffalo Bills. The Chargers falling in purgatory yet again. Maybe next year.
They're just one piece away.
Allen Robinson.
A lot of non-preseason. Maybe Allen Robinson. And maybe let's not have an entire 11 guys on the starting offense and defense combined go down before the year starts. That would be nice. I like Anthony Lynn. I vouch for him.
Like I said, if the Chargers don't charger, bro, that'd be fine.
They got to just fire their training staff.
Yeah.
Bills first place in the AFC East, 8-3, and there's a reason why they're number one, boys. And that's because nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Let's go. We're getting there. Moving on to the other New Jersey team. Haha. Because Buffalo's the only New York team. Giants take down the Bengals in a little squeaker to take over first place in the NFC East. Danny Jones, though, came at a cost. He hurt his hamstring. He is going to be out for questionable amount of time, at least one game.
Nobody knows
guys.
Huge game from Evan Ingram.
What does that do to the NFC East? I know we touched on it earlier, but let's get a definitive answer.
That makes the Washington football team's division to lose.
I want to see them make the playoffs so bad.
Guys, it's not like any of these teams have like a cakewalk last 5.
Actually,
4
you know
games.
what? It's actually Antonio Gibson's division to lose. That's all that it is. Because the Washington football team has nothing without him. The Cowboys are terrible. Zeke's done. He's terrible. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. The Giants, Danny Jones is out. So there's nothing they can do.
Here's the thing.
I would go with you on that, and I'd laugh, but you gotta love that Washington defense. Though you gotta give them some love and some credit because those boys are feisty.
The Washington
they're young
football
and
team
fucking
wouldn't be
flying
anything
around,
without Terry
but-
McLaurin. It'd be amazing to see Alex Smith win a playoff game. I might cry for him.
Yeah.
Playoff games. He's done it.
No, but after all this,
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be
um,
cool. That'd be cool to win a game and then come up to Green Bay in the divisional round and get
Yeah, right. I mean, they're not going to do it. No, we know that the winners of that division are not going to be anything in the playoffs. We all know that. It's now about who do we want to see it be just funny to see in the fucking playoffs. And they don't even have a name, and they are going to be in the playoffs.
I have a buddy. I'm not gonna mention him by name because
wow.
I don't want to embarrass him because this is just not gonna happen. He calls me up the other day. Says, "Sheebs, bold prediction for your show: the Giants win the division and go to the NFC Championship against the Saints." I said, "Haha, where's Ashton Kutcher? Do you see him? Because it's a fucking joke."
Is there a way to mute other people's mics just to end this debauchery?
That is terrible.
That's awful. I hope he was high off of his keister. I hope he was.
For his sake, because that's a hot take.
You know, just because he said that to you and you had to repeat it on here, we're gonna move on to the other New Jersey team, to the little brother. 20-3 Dolphins and Fitzmagic take down the Jets. The Jets had him. They had him on the ropes.
You know what? I think at this point, the Jets should give their name to the Washington football team, and they should just be the New York football team because they don't deserve to have a name.
Guys, so here's what the Jets finish out with.
Matt Patricia gets fired. Bill O'Brien gets fired.
And no
Adam Gase and his beady eyes.
Still
Dan Quinn got fired.
Dan Quinn also, yes. And Matt Patricia this week, and Adam Gase still has a job. We're doing a podcast for free, and I think all three of us could possibly lead the Jets to at least one win.
One fucking victory?
Win.
You're leading me in. Hold that thought. Their last 5 games, home against the Raiders, at Seattle, at the Rams, home against the Browns, at New England. We are going to have, folks, another 0-16 team. We will have the 3rd ever, and guess what? We might possibly have a 16-0 team along with it. What the fuck? What is going on?
This is a great year. The COVID year is getting crazier. The Jets might go winless, and the Steelers might go undefeated.
But hey, everyone can talk shit about the Jets, and we do. We have our fun with the Jets because why not? They're the Jets. They're the laughingstock. The Dolphins are here, and you know what? They're a damn good football squad. They are with Brian Flores. They're 7-4 now, 1 game behind Buffalo, who they play week 17. Guys, we got a little AFC shimmy down going on.
I will never forget
Dolphins for the East.
I will never forget that you said, I think it was last show, that Adam Gase said that Frank Gore is their best player.
Yeah, he said that. He did.
He's like 35.
Gore had 80-something yards, though, on Sunday. He actually
18 carries for 74 yards.
That's what it was, 74, not 84. Regardless, Frank Gore, he led them in yards, did he not?
He did. Darnold, 197 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 picks.
Oh, God, that's funny. So, Tua, I'm not quite sure the extent of his injury, but if Fitzpatrick's in there, the Dolphins, I think, are still in a good spot. Xavier Howard is leading the league in picks. That defense is playing surprisingly well, I think, a year ahead of where they should be. And the offense is doing exactly what I think most expected, 20 to 25 point range,
That's not asking too much, that with that defense, I think that puts them in good position. I mean, clearly it has this year to win games with their schedule and stuff.
You got two big money corners in Byron Jones and Xavier Howard.
And they did have Minkah Fitzpatrick in center field. Thank God they gave him to us for nothing.
Mike Gesicki, he's not targeted often, but when he does, that man has some big games. And I like Mike Gesicki. I do. Devontae Parker is great. And Sheebs, I'm with you. One more receiver. And you know what?
Yeah.
Right now, they have the 11 pick in the draft. So if Houston has a problem,
what if they get a stud running back too?
Chase is right there saying, okay, I'm coming with you, Tua. Or even Devontae Smith from Bama. Go play with your college quarterback. Miami's got options. They got 2 first-rounders.
Yeah, that's true.
2 second-rounders.
Here's the thing. Okay. What if they pick up a nice running back?
They don't need it.
Maybe they pick up a nice wide receiver.
They could use that, yeah.
What do you mean they don't need a running back, though?
T.Y. Hilton is going to be a free agent.
They did the smart move by cutting Howard. I like Breida and that Ahmed. It's a small sample size, but he's looked like I compare him to how Aaron Jones looked.
Ahmed Rosario?
He's getting very little touches, but when he does, he's getting 6-7 yards of a touch. And then obviously with a regular 20, 30
so
snaps.
Here are potential free agent running backs in 2021. Aaron Jones, we all know he's going to resign with the Packers. No,
there's the cap room's not there. He's not coming back.
All right, so maybe he goes to Miami. Maybe.
No, if anything, where I could see he's either going to go to the Texans or the Cowboys. And I tell you why. El Paso, he's from El Paso, Texas, and that place is I don't know if you guys see it on the road. He wears a sombrero every road trip. He is Texas born and raised.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Down there, I think.
If Dak Prescott can come back healthy, he'll probably want to go to the Cowboys. But if I see
Houston, he's already got a healthy quarterback. He can just go there too.
Todd Gurley is supposed to be a free agent. He might say, fuck the Falcons. I know I'm from Atlanta or went to college in Georgia.
Yeah, I think when
he might just say, screw it. James Conner probably will resign with the Steelers if I was a bet man. Kenyon Drake, Chris Carson. So
Chris Carson's getting old.
And, you got Allen Robinson is going to be a wide receiver. Who knows where he goes? Chris Godwin, Kenny Golladay.
He's a big one too in Detroit.
He's probably gonna want to get his ass out of Detroit. Maybe
as
Miami.
Well, yeah.
Maybe he goes to Miami.
Teams might be hesitant on him though because he's been banged up the last couple of years. Yeah. He has. He's starting to be like a Julio, where that man when he's healthy, he's good. Not Julio good, but.
Same tendency was,
Marvin Jones is also a free agent. The Lions might be screwed.
Wow, the Lions might be stripped to nothing, bro.
Because who's going to want to play there? Matt Stafford's going to go probably.
And if he goes, it's kind of like chess with those three. Who's going to make the first move?
Wow.
Hey, while we're talking about, Gurley came up as a
Mitch Trubisky is going to be a free agent.
Yeah. Oh, good. He's going to be a janitor next year.
Okay. Hey.
He's going to be selling dental insurance.
No, Adam, you were the same athletic ability as Mitch Trubisky. That is what I'm saying.
Probably, I could have done the same thing he did.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I could have went and played in Denver.
Jonnu
That's
Smith,
what I'm saying.
Jonnu Smith is going to be a free agent. I'm currently mad at Jonnu Smith because he didn't have
zero
catch.
Zero catch.
We'll get to that game, but I'm mad at you, Jonnu Smith.
Zero.
Yeah, before that though,
scored 45 points and your tight end got 0 catches. Fuck.
Hey, they got 45, but Hot Atlanta put up 43 and a smacking to the Raiders. Coach. Oh, coach. Oh, coach.
I'll tell you, man. Inexcusable. It's the word I got. I got my thesaurus over here, and I'm trying to think of words, and I can't even think of anything because I'm so mad. 43 points defense. I thought Trae Young was out there hitting 3-pointers on us.
Shit.
Jacobs played like dog shit. Carr had a couple costly fumbles.
I'll tell you what, man, though. Josh Jacobs ran over that man like it was a car. Remember we talked about that last time I was on the show?
Yeah, Jacobs did have a nasty run. I feel like when we do this, it's a lot like Saturday Night Live when they do the news with Seth Meyers and they bring on you know what I mean? Oh, I forget the one guy's name. He's in Superbad. He's one of the cops. Not Seth Rogen, the other guy.
John Gruden.
No, but when they're sitting on the desk and
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, thank you. I
Yeah.
love Bill Hader. He's fun, hilarious.
John Gruden almost got leveled on the sideline too. He got knocked over, but like he almost got killed.
Yeah, but what did Jacobs finish with? He didn't.
27 fucking yards.
7 carries for 27 yards.
And Carr was responsible for 3 turnovers. He had a pick, 2 fumbles lost. I think one got taken.
He had 3 fumbles lost.
3 fumbles lost. Okay, and then I think Renfro.
He had 4 turnovers.
Obviously, at that point too, Josh Jacobs isn't going to get a lot of carries because they got to play catch up.
Oh
and
my
just
God,
pass the
the
ball.
Raiders have 5 fucking turnovers, man.
Damn, they're 6-5 now. That's crazy.
I think they had 6 because I think Renfro had one too.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure.
That's not.
With that loss though, Raiders are out of the playoff picture right now.
They're fucked. They don't have an easy schedule. Like
good news
Jets,
for them.
Colts, Chargers, Dolphins, Broncos. They gotta kind of win out here.
Noted.
The Chiefs aren't slowing down. We can clearly see that.
Noted too. Derek Carr's only interception was a pick six.
Oh,
that went back 67 yards by Deion Jones.
Wow. That just blows.
Gotta do a little flash draft soon here on DraftKings. Fourth quarter's coming up. I got that in a couple minutes. Okay today.
It's crazy though that the Atlanta Falcons are beating teams they shouldn't be beating and then losing the teams that they theoretically should be beating.
Dude, ATL, another tragic loss. I'm telling you, that's how they go. It is. That Tennessee game though, for a while,
I thought it was going to be fucking closer, bro.
The Tennessee Derrick Henrys.
Dude, it looked like it was going to be that New Orleans Giants game from like 6-7 years back where down in New Orleans, it was like 50-something to 50-something. Or even that Chiefs-Rams Sunday night. It looked like it. Derrick Henry took off, though.
Derrick Henry
said with the Colts, bro, and their offense just dies.
Derrick Henry said Dalvin Cook was the best back in the NFL, and I think this season particularly, that can change week to week.
Oh, dude, Derrick Henry is the best running back in football.
It's a known thing that Henry heats up later in the year, and that's not like just fans saying, "Oh, yeah. There's stats behind it."
There's literally a second. If it's week 8 on, Derrick Henry's the best running back in football.
It's not even that; it's per month. Like as the months go on, he gets better, which is how it's not supposed to go.
Weird.
Him and Dalvin Cook are the only ones that are over 1,000 yards so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Robinson though with Jacksonville is right there.
Yeah.
Jacobs is going to fall off big after this week.
Quite literally the only bright spot on Jacksonville. We'll get to that game soon, but
yeah.
AJ Brown, he's good.
AJ Brown's good.
Oh. T.Y. Hilton had a touchdown.
He did. T.Y. Hilton alert.
Yeah, no, I think did he have 100 yards?
What?
81.
All right, that's close enough.
Damn, we were talking the one week, we were all like, damn, how does he not have a touchdown? Here we are.
There you go.
The Titans win and lose with Derrick Henry, though. That's how they're going to be successful. But the blocking, what I noticed watching that game is the blocking for him.
Yeah, it's not all just Derrick Henry just runs everybody over. No, their fucking offensive line is good.
But along with the blocking is Derrick Henry's just ability to read the holes in his cutbacks. I mean, the head on the right side of the shoulder. I mean, going down to the ticky tacks of blocking. Like everything I know from being a lineman, they're getting their heads on the right side of the defender for Derrick Henry to use his vision and work around them. That's how it should be. You run to the right, your head's on that left shoulder. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing with that too, because that reminded me of something is saying earlier how Zeke has been poo this year.
That's no fault of his.
But you said like the Titans offensive line is doing a lot for Derrick Henry, and like and everybody has down years. I'm not saying that Ezekiel Elliott isn't a good running back, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, he sucks. But isn't it just like a coincidence that when they have the most problems with their offensive line that they've had in a while, that all of a sudden he's having a down year? Because when that offensive line is healthy, they are clearly the best offensive line in the game.
And you can look at a guy to that point like Saquon Barkley, who after really that first year when that Giants O-line went to shit, didn't produce as much. And again, another group of injuries, but nonetheless, it's the same idea. I know what you're saying with that.
Like, you got Zach Martin, Tyrone Smith, Travis Frederick, all on one offensive line.
And then you have Collins hurt. I mean, all those guys are hurt.
Yeah.
Literally all 5. And who's the center? No, Frederick retired.
He retired? Jeez, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. Whatever, but still. Even when
Frederick retired. That was the start of the downfall.
Even when all of them were playing, though, you know what I'm saying? Just like having that offensive line, like I could run behind that offensive line. Oh
yeah, that's a crazy line. Derrick Henry, regardless with his stature, he'd be fine. But I just want to say that Titans' offensive line does a great job. But it coincides with Henry how he reads.
And they lost Taylor Lewan.
Yeah, they did. He's out for the year. Yeah. And Conklin signed in Cleveland. So both their tackles theoretically are out in one way or another from last year. But they did spend their first round pick on a tackle, Isaiah Wilson, I think it was. I could be wrong, but I know their first round pick was on a tackle. So they filled in the gap there. Sheebs, let's get Minnesota out of the way. That Minnesota-Carolina game, for a while there, it was poop. It really was. I ain't gonna lie. Carolina looked like they were gonna get shut out again. But then a couple of strip sacks for touchdowns, nonetheless, within 30 seconds of one another. Carolina came back and made it a game. Vikings, though, came storming back.
Vikings were up 10-7 at half. I went on my break at work, and then it was 21-10. And I was like, what? Yeah, there's no reason why that should be happening.
BB's fumble on the punt.
He muffed the punt.
He did.
He redeemed himself. He caught that touchdown.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins has been playing really well the past few weeks. He played well against Dallas too, even though they lost. He did everything he could. He threw for over 300 yards. Their defense actually played well against Carolina, despite the score, because their defense only gave up 13 points.
Yeah, because you got to take 14 to Carolina's defense.
I'm telling you,
Carolina's defense is playing a lot better than people thought they would.
DJ Wanham is a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
Blocked the field goal. He's been getting some sacks. Jeff Gladney is going to keep getting better. I think they're going to be a much better defense next year. Like I said, they need to make a big splash at corner. Eric Kendricks is a top 2 linebacker in football, I think. Top 3. At least middle. If you're talking,
I might be stretching it when you got a guy. You got like Leonard and Bobby Wagner.
All right, middle. I'll say middle linebacker.
Yeah, but you still got Wagner. You still got Leonard, and
Eric Kendricks was an All-Pro last year.
I think he's very good, but to say he's top 2, I'd still put at least Leonard and Wagner ahead.
I thought Darius Leonard was an outside linebacker.
No, he's inside.
But yeah, Justin Jefferson, 2 touchdowns. He's not slowing down.
No, it pains me to watch him succeed in Minnesota.
He is not slowing down in any capacity. He is making a stronger case for Rookie of the Year every single week. He's got 918 receiving yards on the season, 6 touchdowns. He's 7th in the league in receiving yards.
And it's only going to go up from there. It really will. And like I said, that pains me to say because I know I've said it.
It's just a shame he's going to be second place in voting behind Chase Claypool.
Well, like a prime example of your 2 receivers. I know I've said that I've wanted a lot of these guys in the draft, and I did. I wanted T. Higgins. I wanted Claypool.
And you got Jordan Love.
But Justin Jefferson.
Jeez, that's fucked up.
Justin Jefferson, number 1 on my list. But see, the Jordan Love pick, that makes me laugh because it wasn't a terrible pick. And even if it wasn't a terrible pick, you can't judge it until he happens.
I know, but do you think he would have been there in the second round?
But the thing is, people hound us for not getting fourth. He was going to be picked, but he was going to be picked. He was first-round talent. Either way, people hound us for not getting a receiver. Patrick Queen was on the board. We need help at linebacker. So for the people laughing about not getting wide receiver in that spot, it should have been Patrick Queen.
Patrick Queen is good.
Yeah, it should have been Queen.
But
who I was praying for, and we had it. We trade up. I'm like, oh my god, we just traded up to get Patrick fucking Queen. No, Jordan Love. I was disappointed.
Let me tell you something.
I wasn't even like, oh no, we didn't get T. Higgins. Oh no, we didn't get whoever it may have been. I was like, oh my god, Patrick Queen. This is what we're doing it for. We'll get a receiver later. I got neither.
I think this week too. I know like Carolina's defense isn't like wow, like their defense is crazy, but
they're allowing 25 a game. That's better than I thought they would do.
Adam Thielen was not there.
No, he wasn't. He was home watching.
Who does all the attention go to?
Jefferson.
And he caught 2 touchdowns. BC Johnson had a good game, 70-something yards too. When he plays, he's decent.
You see the trickle-down effect of not having Thielen and that BB. Is he usually your punt returner, Chad Beebe?
No, it's KJ Osborne, but he was hurt, I believe.
Oh, trickle-down effect, man.
Chad Beebe, I think could be very good. He was supposed to make a big jump last year. I remember against the Packers last year when the Vikings lost there in like week 2. He had like
lost there. Yeah, they did.
He had like a 60-something yard reception, but he hurt himself like maybe a game or 2 later, and he was out for the rest of the year. So I think he can be very good. That's all I really have to say about that game. Is they could have lost. They shot themselves in the foot like a bunch of times. And if they don't make the playoffs this year, I'm still going to say you might have to fire Mike Zimmer.
They got a good young talent, I will say, in Minnesota. They're fine. And
But
they're not out of it yet.
The things, though, is Mike Zimmer, I think he's a good coach, but he hasn't shown that he can be a great coach. Like, yeah, you went to the NFC Championship, but it was a game that you should have lost because Stephon Diggs made a lucky play. It's one of the greatest plays that'll go down in history.
But it was a lucky play.
It was a lucky play. The games that, the games sometimes that he wins are like, you're like, geez, they shouldn't have won that. Carolina had a field goal attempt there with like 3 seconds left. The kicker shanked it, and the Vikings went. They shouldn't have won that game. They didn't deserve to win
Joey
that game.
Sly, he shanked that bad. He did.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, Mike Zimmer's been the coach for like 5-6 years now, and I feel like they're not getting any closer to a Super Bowl. They're just like in the same spot.
Stagnant. Yeah. I know what you mean. I've been seeing it for 10 years with us. I know what you mean. Where some years you look dominant as fuck, and other years you look like just another team that has a shot.
They might need to make some coaching changes. So
yeah. Very well could, but the Vikings, they win. The team that they're chasing, Cardinals, they didn't.
They did that, and they lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, 20-17 on a game-winning field goal by Big Dick Folk.
In a game when Cam Newton was 9 for 18, 84 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
Murray even. I think Murray got picked off, didn't he?
170 yards and an interception. Kenyon Drake, 2 touchdowns.
By all means, this wasn't a wow game. The Patriots are.
James White had 2 touchdowns.
Dude, what are the Patriots?
I can't get a read on them.
Can somebody tell me you can't get a read?
Why is Cam Newton not throwing for like any fucking yards?
Are they good or are they bad?
I know he runs a lot, but like.
Well, like he threw 18 passes. So it's not just that, like, if he's throwing under 20 balls a game, that's from the play call. Like that, the yards are just from the play call because they're rushing 30 times as a team and throwing 18. That's not.
But he completed
Bill Belichick football.
He completed only 50% of those passes.
I mean, yeah.
And he threw 2 picks, and no touchdowns.
They're playing a playoff caliber team, and they beat them.
Yeah, they beat them, I mean? And then they lose.
That's what I mean.
They somehow beat the Ravens, and they lose to other doofy teams.
Let's say this: the Patriots are a competitive football team. How about that?
Yeah.
Can we roll with that?
Yeah.
because I don't know if they're good and I don't know if they're bad, but
I mean, hey, man, they're one game off of being 500. Like,
And theoretically, the Cardinals are not as good as everybody thinks they are because they could be 5-6 if DeAndre Hopkins doesn't catch that ball.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very well
that's
true.
And that's still an explosive offense.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, there's no solid running game. There's no, they got a good receiving. Kyler's good and everything, but they don't have a solid running game, and I think that's going to come back to bite them.
I feel bad for Larry Fitzgerald.
If they fucking make it.
His best shot was with Kurt Warner. They made it to the Super Bowl and lost, and they haven't done anything until like last year to put anything around that guy.
No. 4 years ago. 4 years ago, they lost in the NFC title game to Carolina.
All right, yeah, I forgot they had Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
And then Bruce Arians was there and did real good. I forgot about that, but
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying though? Like at least in the past couple of years, like there's been like a lapse.
Jamal Adams just said "fuck you" to Carson Wentz and sacked him.
I'd say for most of his
field goal attempt,
for most of his career, Larry Fitzgerald hasn't had the opportunity to like be on a contending team, like a consistent.
What about fucking Megatron, bro?
And he's such a likable guy, though, Larry Fitz. Like, how can anybody hate Larry Fitzgerald?
No, I know he's a great guy.
I've never heard anyone say no. I don't fuck with Larry Fitzgerald.
But like, I just wish that, like, he won a Super Bowl. Like Randy Moss never won a Super Bowl.
Some of the greatest. Antonio, that's why they call me Holmes in the end of the end zone, right on the sideline. He would have his
fucking catch in Super Bowl history.
He'd have his ring.
Wait, did Jake Elliott make the field goal?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Was that that was the year? That was the 102-yard James Harrison pick six too.
That was the.
Oh, great.
That was 2 years before the Packers won the Super Bowl.
I'm so far out of the money in both of my DraftKings things, I don't even want to look at it anymore.
Another team that I can't pinpoint are the Browns. I would say.
Yeah, man.
Nick Chubb has looked great.
Nick Chubb
since
is
he came back.
Phenomenal, bro. I did not like. You don't come back from a little knee injury like that and just fucking 100 yards all 3 games. You're back, bro. That's not fucking normal.
And they are the best backfield in football, but I don't understand what the hell. Baker is not playing very well. Obviously, the defense is a liability at this point.
I just honestly think Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb are like, all right, bro. Like, if we want to do this, it's got to be us.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Nick Chubb's like, bro, I'll run it down to the 10, and then you get it in those last 10 yards.
Jarvis Landry went off.
Oh, thank you. You read my fucking mind, dude. I was going to say Jarvis Landry finally came out last night.
I noticed that because somebody tweeted, the Browns is their first time they're going to be, a 500 team. And then Eric Ebron quoted the tweet and said, where are they going? And
no, LeBron James tweeted. He said 8-3.
Yeah, LeBron tweeted it, yeah. And then Eric Ebron quoted, said, where are they going? And then now Jarvis Landry had a good week. So he replied, you'll see where we're going, bro. Like, nowhere. You're the Cleveland Browns.
The 5 seed Cleveland Browns. They haven't been this good since
ever.
2007. 2007 was the last time they were this good. And the last time they finished 500 on the year, I think, was that season. They finished 10-6 and lost the tiebreaker to be the 6th seed. So basically back in 07, 06, 07, whatever it was, the Browns, if it were the current playoff format, they would have been the 7th seed and got in. Yeah. So this is the best they're doing since that. Right now they're the 5 seed.
Everybody's like, though, like, oh, like, yeah, here's Jarvis Landry. Like, yeah, he's back. But, like, pump the brakes because it's against a 1-10 Jacksonville team.
Yeah.
James Robinson, very good.
You know my motto in these games, dude. Not going to apologize for winning.
No, I know,
but you have to look at it and say, we should have buried them, like, i.e. Pittsburgh, compared to, like, the Packers who just beat them.
And keep in mind, too, they had a chance to tie it. They missed the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Right.
Mike Glennon said he was going to go out there slinging. So credit to him, man. I'm happy Mike Glennon got some football on him. He said he was going to sling it. And he did.
The Bears should have kept him, right? That's where he was before the Buccaneers.
Bears, yeah. Bears signed him for
he was on the Buccaneers and the Bears.
Could there be a Mike Glennon shift now? Now that you get, Minshew's out and now whatever the fuck that other dude's name is Mike Glennon now? He looked okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mike Glennon, he was a 2nd-round pick. He's deserving of a legitimate shot.
Is the next game what I think it is, though?
The next game, Saints 31, Broncos 3.
So I think with Drew Lock being irresponsible, this officially puts the Drew Lock is elite beater. Just put it away. Done. An elite quarterback would not do that. You got to have leadership.
My only input on this game is
give it up for that wide receiver.
Latavius Murray.
Let's put respect.
Yeah.
Clap for the wide receiver
Kendall,
and good job,
Hinton.
Latavius Murray.
Kendall Hinton. Respect on
your old boy. Your old boy Latavius Murray had himself a day.
Yeah, I was a little sad when we got rid of him, but obviously I really like.
I always liked him in Minnesota.
I liked him a lot. Yeah, got to give respect to Hinton though. Yeah, I mean he didn't even have a full day's notice. He had no practice reps. So they're like, all right, go play quarterback for an NFL team. He was in sales.
Half of the guys he didn't even know.
Yeah.
This game finished with 91 passing yards. Not even 25 yards a quarter. So that was the type of game it was. Saints roll away with it. A couple more games, then
how many rushing yards did Taysom Hill have? 44.
What'd you say?
I want to know how many rushing yards Taysom Hill had. He had 44.
Did he? Niners upset win over the Rams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I would say
that makes the NFC West interesting.
It does. It does indeed.
It was a game-winning field goal. The Niners had the game on. It was 17-3. Then the Rams came storming back.
Jared Goff was bad. I can't tell with him because
he's bad. He's not an elite quarterback either.
He looks like great some weeks, and other weeks like what?
He's not. He's not an elite quarterback. I'm on the meter. For me, isn't even fucking out.
There is no such thing as a meter. Jared.
Deebo Samuel said, "I'm gonna put the team right here."
Literally, bro. Literally, that last drive was Deebo Samuel's. It was crazy.
No Gregory Kittle. No Ayuk. No anybody. I mean, Richard Sherman came back. He had
Raheem Mostert.
He had a nice day.
Raheem Mostert was back, who had a costly fumble that got the Rams sparked. Yeah. Aaron Donald, monster as usual.
You can't stop Aaron Donald for the whole game.
Dude, the Niners aren't out of the West.
No, they're not. And that's fucking ridiculous.
If Seattle loses this game, that NFC West is the complete, like, if the NFC East is Satan, then Jesus Christ is the NFC West if we get to witness that battle.
Yeah.
We could actually watch it like an interesting battle with good teams instead of a feel bad.
Yeah, right. Facts.
You know what I mean? So the Niners with a nice upset win. The last game on Sunday before we talk about the fight night to end it, guys, because that happened. We got to see
that happened. Why not?
It's sports.
Tyreek Hill had the greatest quarter of football that I've ever done in my life.
Cost me some money.
Crazy. 200 yards in the quarter. In 27-24 Chiefs win. That helps the NFC, while the Steelers now have the Chiefs half game behind.
Gotta win tomorrow. Not even tomorrow. Wednesday.
I thought that to be honest, I thought that Tyreek Hill was going to break the single game receive.
Yeah, why did they stop throwing it to him?
336 yards is the record. I thought he was going to.
Oh my god. DK Metcalf fumble.
Yeah.
Damn. The Doug Peterson's going to challenge it, I think. It's not, what were we saying? Oh, he had 13 catches, So, yeah, it's not like they just didn't throw it to him.
I mean, I think he had.
It was like a 70-yarder.
He had like 8 catches in the first quarter.
Oh, no. Corey Linsley's out 3 to 6 weeks.
Patrick Mahomes did Patrick Mahomes things.
Yeah, Mahomes was Mahomes.
As we wrap up, I mean, Tom Brady threw 2 picks.
But Brady had moments in that game where he looked like, Tom Brady. And then he had moments in there where he looked like
this guy's 42. This guy's 42 and shouldn't be playing this fucking game anymore.
Like that second pick the second pick was
That was underthrown, really fucking.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the deflection. The first pick was underthrown.
Oh, then the first one, that was such a bad ball. The second one, he threw off the guy's head.
He's thrown like 7 picks in the last 4 games, and
Yeah.
they're 1-3 in the last 4 games.
This is the first time in his career he's 0-3 in his last 3 home games too.
Think of the talent they have at wide receiver. Mike Evans.
Not even, dude. Their running back, Ronald Jones Jr. is fucking gross.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin.
He is.
Antonio Brown. And at tight end, they have Gronk. And I believe O.J. Howard is still there.
Yeah. Dude, they're 1-3 with Antonio Brown on the roster.
Yeah.
And my Gronk meter is back. The Gronk meter is it's up.
He had a good game.
So that's nice to see it. Gronk back in action. Bucks fall short though. Other NFL news that I forgot to mention. Somebody made a splash today. And who was that team? Oh, Saka-doopa-doopa, Saka-doop-doo. Oh, what's Goo up to? Just signing Tavon Austin. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Green
And
Bay
you know who's
Packers.
still out there? Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills. You know where he's going to come? I have a feeling.
Where?
Tavon Austin, bro. That is such an that does wonders for the return game. Especially with Tyler Ervin being hurt. I haven't seen anything like that from the Packers since Micah Hyde was there. Having a guy back there that's like, oh, he could take it back. That's nice to have Tavon Austin coming to town. One last thing before we empty the bench. Who was highly disappointed by the Mike Tyson fight? That was very disappointed. Mike Tyson definitely won that fight.
Yeah.
Beyond that, though, I think for the three of us, it's cool to sit here and say we watched a live Mike Tyson fight.
That was the only time I've ever seen Mike Tyson fight.
That's the last fight he had was in 2015. Roy Jones was in like 2018. He's still 51 years old, you know. And Tyson's
Tyson's was in like
05.
Oh, 05. You said 15.
No, Roy Jones Jr. was like 7. Oh, well, I meant 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And Roy Jones Jr. was 2018, but he's still 51 years old, you know, like easy on him.
No, yeah.
But we got to watch Mike
you
Tyson.
saw it after the second round, and they were only doing 2-minute rounds, bro. They were gassed.
Yeah.
They were fucking gassed.
Yeah, they can prep all they want, but
yeah, it's nothing like in the ring.
Yeah. Jake Paul turned Nate Robinson into a meme.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that. Just that I'm just happy we got this Tyson fight. That's cool. Robinson disrespected the NBA community.
Yeah,
man.
bro, that shit was so funny.
That's disrespectful what Jake Paul did to him.
Oh man.
But then people be like Jake Paul's a fighter, dude. Like he trains and shit.
But Jake Paul called out Conor McGregor.
Yeah, that's just not smart. However, at least he knows what he's doing. Robinson, he just stepped in there.
Robinson, bro, the last fight he probably had was like in high school.
On the playground.
Yeah.
He didn't fight in the NBA. And I've seen something like, is this how we're going to remember Nate Robinson, like his legacy?
Yeah.
I'm still remembering him playing champion who got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. The guy that got put to
That's
sleep
about
by
it.
Jake Paul.
Yeah, basically.
So,
I just think, though, I agree with everybody in the internet. We got to get Snoop Dogg calling at least one game for every sport a year or something. And we got to get him calling Lakers games or something.
He should be calling all the Christmas Day games, man. For NBA.
For Thursday night football, bro.
I think
that'll give people to watch Thursday. Actually, you know what? He's from Pittsburgh. Give him a motherfucking thing Wednesday. That'd be sick.
3:40, dude, that's perfect. That'll get the people to watch. Be like, oh, I got.
He's just waking up. He's fucking, he's chilling. He'll just have to fucking boom.
Oh, Myers lining up for a 44-yarder. Drilled it. He fucking put his dick in that one. So 17-9 Seattle as we wrap it up, guys. Anything more empty the bench with or?
Nope. Go Steelers. Fuck the Ravens.
Yeah. So we'll be back normal Friday morning. You guys will have it out there sometime Friday. So we'll recap that Steelers game. No Thursday night game that got moved along with everything else. We'll talk
Right.
about it all in a couple days. Again, hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Glad you're back here on the bench with us on Riding the Pine. For Marvin Sheebs, I'm Adam. We'll see you.